it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. How are ya? I'm back in the kitchen, and that could be risky. Actually, I'm going to make something, and I'm using a different appliance than you've ever seen me use. And I don't know. I've been doing a little bit of experiment with it, but I bought an air fryer, and actually I ordered this from Home Depot. You'd be surprised what they have on Home Depot online that they don't have in the stores. So it was actually $44, and it's bigger than I thought it would be, but I should have known because it said family size. So, but I thought maybe with the way I'm eating that it would probably be good and do me some good to have something like this. So, what we're going to do today, I have a choice boneless chuck roast. And it's about a little over 2.5 pounds. This will not fit in the air fryer, but I'm going to cut it in half and I'm going to put it in there. I've never done a chuck roast this way. The maximum time on this air fryer is an hour for the timer, and you can go up to 400 degrees in it. So, I'm pleased with the air fryer so far, but this is a hunk of meat here, so we will see how it comes out. I'm kind of excited about it, so I'm going to bring you along with me and let's see what happens. If you have experience with air fryers, which I'm sure a lot of you do, because you know I'm behind the times, put it in the comments below and let me know. But in the meantime, come along with me if you want to see what happens with a big hunk of beef in the air fryer. I think it'll be good. Don't you? All right, come on. Okie doke. Here is a U.S. choice boneless chuck roast. And like I said, it weighs about 2.5, a little more than 2.5 pounds. It was $3.99 a pound, by the way. As a weekly special, it was on sale at Fairway. I love this, the way this looks, because it's you can see that it's a little bloody. It's got all this nice fat, good healthy beef fat marbling through the hunk of beef. It is very, very beautiful. This is really going to be delicious. I'm hoping that it turns out nicely in the air fryer. Now then, I'm going to cut this in half so it'll fit. And I may have to do it in 2 increments. I don't know. Maybe I might be able to get both of them in there together if I cut it in half. Now, here is the air fryer. This is an Emerald brand, which I've never heard of, but then I don't necessarily know brands either. It has quite a large basket, as you can see. So I'm thinking I might be able to get both of them in there. When you do this, this pops out, and it's extremely easy to clean, by the way. It was $44. I got free shipping on it. And actually, I got it in a few days, delivered to my house. You probably won't find items like this at the Home Depot store itself, but that's okay. Now, here is the here's the controls. So you can go up or down with the time, and you can go up or down with the temperature. When it comes on, it is standard. It's set to default for 15 minutes and 360 degrees, so it's up to you to change it. These don't really do anything. I assume these are just to show you what you can put in your air fryer, which I wasn't aware. I guess you can bake in your air fryer. I didn't know that. So anyway, let us proceed, and I will show you how it's going to work. Okie dokie, I was able to get this in here, and you can see that it fits very nicely. Now, some of the fat, the beef fat, is going to drain down into the bottom of the air fryer, and that's great, that's fine. I will reserve that and use it for future cooking if and when I need to. And also, I have not seasoned this in any way. There's no salt, there's no pepper, there's no seasoning whatsoever. I will salt it when I eat it, which is quite a departure from my usual methodology. So, and this is still partially frozen on the inside. It is not completely thawed. So I think what I'm going to do, because I'm kind of flying blind here, I'm going to go to the default setting for the temperature at 360 degrees, and then I'm going to increase the time to 30 minutes. And I think then at 30 minutes, I'll pull it out, check it, flip them over, because I noticed whatever I do cook in there, it does get brown on the top. It'll cook, but the more of the brownage is on the top. So I'll flip them over and put them back in for maybe another 30 minutes. I don't know. I'll just see how it feels. All right, don't go away, because you want to see how Granny does with her new kitchen appliance. All right, we'll be back. Okay, the 30 minutes is up, so let's take a look. That looks pretty good. You can see that it has shrunk, of course. That's normal. Now, the reason this is a departure for me is because I, back in the day before the internet and reading various books and articles and trying to learn to be a good cook, I learned that when you have less tender cuts of meat, such as the chuck roast, that in order to tenderize them, you need to add some moisture of some kind, some water, some broth, something of that type. Tough cuts of meat tenderize with added liquid. Tender cuts of meat will become tougher if you add liquid to them. For example, you wouldn't boil a steak, right? So, that's why this is a departure, because I'm cooking this chuck roast in the air fryer without any moisture. I'm not steaming it. I'm not pressure cooking it. I'm not doing any of it. It's very different from what I'm used to doing. So now let's see. It's going to be a bit hot, but something else that you might need to know as well. If you are, you want a certain doneness to the meat, to the beef, then the more pliant it is, softer, see how that is? The less done it is. So this, it doesn't feel, of course it doesn't feel frozen in the center anymore, but see how that is very pliable, like a cushion, right? So the more done the meat is, the more firm it is. When I cooked in restaurants, that's how I would know that a steak was done. You didn't cut into a person's steak ever. They ordered a steak. They did not want their steak cut into it. Plus, you would lose the juices. So that's how you touched it. Okay. And that's how you knew, because people order their steaks a certain way, correct? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to turn this. I might just do this off camera, but hang on here. I'm going to turn this over because I want to look at the underside. As I'm turning this over, do you see how raw that is on the inside? See how that's pretty red? Now on this piece, you can also see on the underside how red that is. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in the air fryer for 20 minutes at 360 degrees. Then we're going to check it. Excuse me, I think I'm going to do it for 15 minutes. Then we're going to check it and we're going to see where we're at. Because frankly, I would like it if my chuck roast is a bit pink. Okay, so let's see how we do. All right, let's see. It looks pretty tasty. All right. That's pretty, it's still got some give to it, and so I'm thinking, I don't know, it might be okay like that. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it rest. I think, and I've got it on the cutting board here. I'm just going to let it rest in the air fryer pan, because you don't want to cut into the meat right away, because then you lose all your juices, and that's not good. And that's why I never, N-E-V-E-R, never cut in to meat for doneness. I just check the touch method. Now, normally with the chuck roast, you know that it's going to be really well done because of the fact that it's a less tender cut of meat. But I'm going to just experiment with this. I would like for it to be a little more rare. And I do share this with my little dog. I have her on strictly meat now because of her stomach issues. I was using grain-free dog food, but honestly, that didn't help that much either. So she's just on meat, beef, and maybe some chicken, and sometimes some bits of raw meat too, which that's good for her as well. Ground beef. So I'm going to leave this here. Get a closer look. What do you think? It looks pretty tasty. All right, and then I'm going to let it sit for about 15 minutes. I'm going to take a portion out, and I'm going to slice them off, and let's see what we have. Because you know what? We can always put it back in. It's not that big of a deal. How am I doing so far? Put down in the comments if you like this, and let me know what you do and what your experiences are with your air fryer. I would really like to know because this is new to me. I just want to show you what it looks like underneath. I want you to see the juices that have come out from underneath, or from this chuck roast. And the coagulated parts in the center, that's not a good word, but hey, that is actually blood drippings right there. Okay. I have to say, this is very easy to use so far. And I like the shape of the pan on the inside as well. One thing you ought to know is that when I purchase something extra for my kitchen like this, an appliance or a kitchen tool, you can darn well bet that I'm going to get every single bit of use and mileage out of this thing that I possibly can. For everything that I possibly can. because otherwise, why buy it? True? True. Okay, I took the portion out that was on the left-hand side of the pan. So you can see here, this is actually the less fatty portion. So I'm going to slice this up. I think I'll trim it here first, but I'm going to slice it up. And I like to slice it very, very thin, but let's see what we have. Okay, this is actually, it slices up very nicely. This is a bit too rare for me. I think if you like it that way, that's fine. So I'm going to slip this back in to the air fryer, and I'm going to just simply put it on 5 minutes. I'm going to save this little portion out for my little doggy Doo because she's worth it for a snack for her later. Now then, let's look at the other piece. You might be able to see there's some blood there on the top. A little bloody. That tells me that is also probably equally as rare, even though this has more fat running through it. So, in this piece goes, and these other fatty edges as well. And I'm going to put it on 5 more minutes just to see. Okay, it's been 5 more minutes, so that's 55 minutes all total. I probably could have put this on an hour because that's the time limit. That's as long as the air fryer will go. So, but I'm not unhappy with this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of salt on there because remember I didn't put any seasoning. Some salt on there. I'm going to cut off a bite and I'm going to taste it. All right, here's my bite. Actually, I've already had 2 bites, but I forgot to hit record. So you missed my fabulous experience. Mm. Mm. It's so awesome. And I cut off some fat and had it with my bite. Oh, wow. Mm. This is the first thing I've had to eat today, and it's almost noon. So, oh my, It's really very, very tasty. I wish you could taste this. And I put a little salt on there. Now, be aware, it's a little more chewy than your more expensive cuts of meat. Here's a piece of fat, by the way. But it is really good. Really, really good. I'm calling this done. Okay? You want to see it? I'm calling that done. It's awesome. So happy, happy, happy with this. So good. Just with salt. It's fabulous. All right. That's it. That's it for me today. I'm going to let this cool down some more. Then I'm going to slice it really thin. I'm going to put it in a container for later. And set some aside for my little dog. That's why she loved me. She loved Mama. Because Mama makes good things for her. All right, I love you guys. You know I do. You know I do. And you know what? as always, little is much when God is in it. And don't forget, I've got the rest of it in here. It's awesome. Okay, I love you. Please like, subscribe. It helps me. Share. It might help somebody else. And hey, if you're interested in this air fryer, just go to Home Depot or, honest to goodness, type in Emerald appliances or small appliances or whatever. And it'll probably pop up someplace, okay? All right, I love you. And as always, you know that little is much when God is in it, okay? I love you, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.